Okay, now we're going to see how we can take this clutch apart. So there's no way to separate this without using a hammer. I'll show you in a minute. So we're going to leave the threads engaged, about that many threads engaged. So it's most of the threads are engaged inside the clutch. You have to mark. Everything's done with an arrow except the back part, and this one has a ding in it. So that's great. Not all clutches have that. So we'll just put that there. The rest of everything's aligned. So we need the button keepers if we're going to keep the buttons. On this particular clutch, we're going to replace the buttons and the O-rings, so we don't need to worry about these keepers. So now we'll start the stopwatch again and see how quick we can at least get this part of it taken apart. Alright, hold on. So the tools that you're going to need are a hammer, and the clutch bolt is engaged in there. There's no way it's going to come apart easy with a rubber mallet or anything like that. It takes a couple good hits and then it will separate it, and then we'll be able to take it apart. So I'll start the stopwatch. We'll put it over here. So I'll start it. Go. Alright. Okay, so now the two halves are disengaged. All I'm going to do is take this and pull it out. I don't care about the buttons because we're going to replace them all. Okay, push stop. Okay, 20 seconds, the clutch is apart. Alright, so what we're going to do now is spend some time. The clutch is all dirty in there. We're looking at the ramps. The ramps are dirty, but there's no grooves in them. So we're going to clean these up with Scotch-Brite. We're going to clean it up with brake clean. Don't use this type brake clean, because what it's going to do is it's going to swell the seals, and then when you swell the seal up inside, it's going to bind up on the shaft, which is no good. So inside we're going to replace all of the buttons and O-rings that fell out because they all fell inside here, and I don't care about that because we're putting new ones in, which is why we didn't bother with the keepers. We'll use them when we put it back together. Inside here, again, all this belt dust and grime. That's also, the rollers are still turning okay. All the bushings are still okay in there. All that looks good. So basically we're just going to clean this all up. We're going to clean the towers all up, and then we'll be able to put it back together. And see, that's all just belt dust that's in there. So we're going to clean it up and then we'll go from there. Alright. Okay, so now we need to put new buttons and O-rings in here. And we have our keepers, we have our buttons, we have our O-rings. I'll do one here. So we put our O-ring on our button. Put our O-ring on our button. For now, it doesn't matter which way we aim them, as long as the slots both aim the same way so I can get the keeper on. So I push that in and hold it. Don't let the O-ring fall out or cause you any grief. Okay, both of those went in good. So now I need to put the keeper on there. Like that. So I need to do the same on this one and the same on this one, and then we can put it together. Okay. Alright, so now we have all three of our pieces cleaned up. This was all cleaned up with Scotch-Brite and then brake clean and washed well. The same thing, everything was cleaned up with Scotch-Brite and then brake clean and washed well. New buttons, new O-rings, the keepers are on. Right now they're all aimed up, but to put them on, we have to rotate them all this direction. They'll rotate nice and easy, everything's all brand new. And the sliding half was also all cleaned up inside and outside. The rollers are all working well. So the first thing is to line up your arrows. We didn't take the spring out. So the arrow here and the arrow on the spring retainer will line up. We'll take the spider, line up our arrow on that. We'll line everything up straight. Give it just a little tap, basically. The keepers will fall off, and now it slides down fairly easy. So that's on nice. When we took it apart, it took the wrap of the hammer basically because this is not like the old TRA where this is splined. It's a tapered fit, so it gets tight on the last little bit, in the last maybe 20-30 thousandths. So we'll line this up again by putting our mark over here. We'll take our arrows, line them up here. Okay. Get it to line up perfect where it was. And it's hard to see, but there's a small clearance in there, maybe 30 thousandths less, and that's the taper when we tighten the clutch that will keep it from spinning. You want to make sure that you don't get, that you clean that up with brake clean and Scotch-Brite. Don't get any grease on that or your clutch is not going to stay together. Okay, so we'll go over and put it on. No, shut it off.